And welcome back for some more brutal start on Mimas with me, 54 Bear, the complete idiot. Sunrise on Mimas, Saturn, it's a view that never gets old. Okay, I have noticed a couple of things. Where are we? The cooling in here was going down much faster than expected. And after doing a little research offline, I believe this will get significantly colder than I had thought. So what I'm going to do is just let it cool down, a little colder maybe. Then I'm going to replace all these pipes with insulated, take off the radiator, and I believe that will keep it cold enough. Also, I hadn't noticed, or maybe I did, that some nitrogen had crept into my oxygen supply. I think it was dregs from the old fuel mixer. I should probably have deconstructed the original ice crusher, because this still has some nitrogen in it. Not very much, but just enough to be a problem. So what I may do is put a pump on this, pump all that out, and then get rid of this entirely. Because I think when you deconstruct an ice crusher, whatever is left inside is not put into the pipe network, it just disappears. It's like when you delete the last section of pipe. So what I'm going to do to deal with this is I have temporarily, I have put in a valve that will connect this. You know what, I should probably recolor this just to make it a little clearer. So we will make this green. Right, so yeah, this green section of pipe, it feeds into the oxygen tank, and it also feeds into this. Now, because I have a valve there, that is not going to benefit from the change I'm going to make. So I will rip that out temporarily. Although I am low on oxygen, so I will probably have to swap that out. Never mind. I can breathe a bit of nitrogen for a while, it won't be a major issue. Right. Put a pipe in there, so now I have one complete section. Change it to blue, just to make certain. So everything on the blue network now can get connected to the input on this. So open this up, turn this on, and over time it is going to suck all the nitrogen out of the pipes, out of the tank, and put it into the thing. In fact, I was thinking maybe disconnect the tank so that it and do that separately, but I'll just let it run. As it stands at the moment, the amount of nitrogen in here is, well, 1/100 of 1%, so it's really not worth worrying about, but I do. When I'm making pure fuel mixture, I like to get it right. Now, I do have nitrogen in here as well. Again, well, here it's an even smaller percentage. Probably not worth worrying about, but at some point I will put a filtration on that just to move it out, because it'll annoy me. And speaking of fuel, this thing has run out. Fill it up. This thing basically is left turned on all the time. It's just whenever I notice the bottle is empty, I fill it up again. Okay, plants are still doing okay. And we are kind of getting ready for Stirling power. Not quite certain where it's going to live, because obviously I have to refactor or rearrange a few things. I kind of screwed up when I did the initial greenhouse placement. I should have set it back one block because the area here is a bit limited, and both of these machines could do with stackers. And once you add a stacker on here, it makes this gap very small, and I don't like things getting just thrown into the air, especially when you're making pipes and sheets and frames and whatnot. You tend to want to make 30 or 40 at a time, and it gets a little bit messy here. Stuff gets launched, and yeah, just generally not happy with it. Now, how many insulated do I have? Well,
hydration critical.
Yeah. Okay, I am going to take care of these pipes. So I'll just replace them one at a time. In fact, I can do them multiples at a time just by extending the capacity. Put those down, delete, delete, delete. So all the gas will be in the top section. Oh, that's weird. Reconnect it, and then shrink it down to size. I'll leave it like that, I think. How's the pressure doing in there? Alright, so the stress is going down. Whatever liquids we have are evaporating. So my hope is that it will stabilize with no evaporation and just keep at a constant temperature. If it ever does get to a point where it warms up, then I can just chuck a radiator on it for a few minutes. There we go. So I don't know what the ideal pressure temperature range is, but that one will do. Right, let's go swap this battery out. And I do need to drink. I don't need to eat for a while, but that'll be okay. I will need to go and do some more mining because I don't have any silicon. At least I don't think I do. And this one down here. Yeah. So no silicon, and I do have some in the printers, but not very much. So I will need to do that. That I will do off camera, because the last thing you guys want to see is me wandering around, getting lost, and doing the mining thing. Or maybe some of you would like that. I don't actually know. So how are we doing? 0.007%. We are officially at James Bond levels. Okay, so as I said, I need to go do some mining. Let me just check on the water situation. Fairly certain I turned the the combustor. You can just see the red switch there. That's turned off. Right, so we are at just under 40 megapascals. We've got 1,000 moles of steam that are slowly being condensed and cooled into good old H2O. 82 degrees, 50 or 45, 46 liters. Yeah, that's going to be okay. It will cool down some more, but it takes a while. There's only a single radiator on there. To be honest, I would have expected it to cool down faster than it is, but it should be okay for a day. I will need to refill the bottle from here, but there's plenty enough water to keep these two plants going for, well, long time. I don't have to worry about that for a while. Anyway, I'm going to go do some mining, and I'll be back in a moment. And one not so brief mining trip later, we have some resources. I'm also dying of hunger, could do with a drink, and we have potato seeds. Lovely. So 3 seeds in total. Right, I shall plant 2 of them. And I'm not certain if 1 baked potato is enough to satisfy hunger when it's this low. So that's why I'm keeping 2 of them. As I can't mush a potato through my helmet. Yeah, almost, but not enough. So we'll do the second one. These 2 will grow again, and I may actually add 1 from the seeds. Just so I increase it. 2 spare seeds should be fine. Alright, finish that. Put that in there. Oh, this is not my Atmo tablet. Of course, I just come back from a mining trip. Okay, so with those 3 growing, we should be good.
Hydration critical.
Yeah. Nag. Okay, so we should be good. Right, so health's back, food and drinks 100%. I still haven't done the calling out here. The replaced pipes should be, oh, of course I don't have my Atmo tablet, should be good enough now, I think, to keep the fridge cold without the need for any power. It's only got 2 slots, but I think I only need 1. And I did have an idea that I do need to refill that bottle. I wonder what would happen if I put it in the fridge. We shall find out, because I'm fairly certain it fits. Yeah. So, this is what we're going to do. If I remember to close and lock the helmet. Now I do have to turn this on. I've only got it set to 70%. To be honest, I'm not certain how these things work. When I first tried using them, I set it to 100% and it blew up the canister. So I don't really know how it figures out what 70% is. But if we get up to 7 litres, that's fine. I should just shut it off manually. There we go. That's good enough. Right, now I do need my Atmo tablet, which should be that one there. Hate it when these things drop behind other things. Right, so temperature in there is 87. If I throw that in the fridge, I think it will cool it down. We will find out. If I put it down here, it will cool down a little in here at the expense of warming up the atmosphere, but it does take a while. So, yeah. Well, it's not affecting the temperature of the fridge. All that pipe network, so maybe it doesn't. We'll leave it in there for a while and find out. No, my luck, it'll freeze, explode, and take out my base with it. Which would be a fun way to die. I haven't actually died that way yet. Okay, so we have got resources. It is getting to the point where we should think very seriously about
Power critical.
power. Almost like I timed it. Now, I also need to refill my jetpack. So, before I do that, let's see how this is going. Yeah, 1,000,000%. And it is going to take an absolute age to get rid of that. But it will. Alright, so I have 11 megapascals there. So what I need are a few or a couple of things. I do have some utilities, that's good. Regular pipe, that's good. And a pressure regulator. It's the wrong colour, of course, so we will have to address that issue. Let's move this out of the way. What else will I need? Don't think anything else. Right, so we want to make this funky, don't we? I mean, I could just slap a pressure regulator on top, but then that means running cable up in the air, and I did it over here because I really didn't have an awful lot of choice. But I would rather not do that anymore. So I could, let's see, where's my pipe? I could run the pipe out there. Until I move things, I really don't want to impinge on that walkway anymore, so I think I'll actually just take it out straight, and then we will go up, but out one. So here's my regulator. There we go. Now utilities. I could just go straight into the pipe thing, but I would rather have a bit of extra capacity. So what I think I'm going to do is add to the funkiness a little. Like so, and then we'll take our utility, we'll put that there, and we'll put that there. So that will give us a bit extra capacity, so it won't take as long to do refills. The first fill, obviously, it's got to fill that entire thing. But that's okay. We got plenty of time. I will make another canister. Actually, maybe I should start making some smart canisters. What do I actually take? Copper, steel, and silicon. Yeah, I can do those easily. So I need some more steel in here. I have a bunch. That is good. And silicon, yeah, that's what I was running low on. That was the whole reason for the mining trip. None in there. None in there. So we really don't have any. That's fine. We'll get this. We'll just plonk that in there. Fire this up. Okay, that's good. All I'm doing is degassing it at the moment. Didn't find an awful lot of silicon out there, to be honest. I think that's all I have. Might have some... Nope, not in there. Oh, it's a tool belt. Thought I might have another mining belt for a moment. Right, so... Well, that's 200. That's 200,
Air tank low.
200 more than we had a few minutes ago. I can take care of the air tank in a minute. Now, waste is at 815. I think that is... I don't think that's hot enough to make silicon. Let's look it up. Ingots. Silicon. Yeah, it requires 627 Celsius. So actually it would be enough. So we wouldn't even have to add any more gases into this. But we'll probably, rather than add loads, I will lower the pressure. Won't drain it completely. I'll just get it down to below 1 megapascal. This is set as fast as it will go. So is this. So once it gets below a megapascal, I'll shut this one off, fire this one up. That will bring some more hot gas in there, and it should work. Now, I could just bring gas in here now, but then it has to heat up the gas in here, and the more gas there is actually in the furnace, the more hot gas I have to bring in to raise its temperature. So ideally you'd take it down to vacuum, but it takes quite a while with these little pumps. They only do like 10 litres per tick. Although now I could throw in, I could take this one out completely and just replace it with a turbo volume pump here, but they are very expensive on power. So, yeah, power-wise we're doing okay. Yeah, I threw in a new bottle there. But yeah, it'll be nice to get some smart canisters in here. Means they will last a little longer. So hopefully we won't be using it that much more. All right, so we'll fire this up until we get the green light. There we go. Turn it off and pump it all out again. Okay, smart canisters. So I can make 10. I'm not going to make that many. Want 2 for breathing. No point having them for the waste tank. 2 for fuel and 2 for the jetpack. So total of 6. And that should be all we'll ever need. Well, that's 4. Okay, now I will need the labeler because I don't want to spend forever clicking on those things. And I think it's about time I printed a couple of extra small batteries. Yeah, just small ones will do. This is just for the tools. Challenge of this particular playthrough is keeping everything smaller than I would normally go. Oops. I did invest in a few luxuries like the heavy mining drill. Right, fuel-wise we are doing okay, and I do have the paint can on me. Right, so 2 of them will be white, 2 of them will be orange, and 2 of them will be green. That tells me which is which. Right, so let's get jetpack one in there. Fuel one in there. And I don't have any more. That's fine. I do want to see how this is doing at pulling out the nitrogen. Well, I mean, it's not even registering. It's 0.2 of a millimole, so very tiny fraction, but we will keep it, we want to keep it pure anyway. Now, I did put the paint can away. That was a mistake. Right. We'll make this black because reasons. Don't want to make it bright green because then I'll think it's got nitrous oxide in it. Alright. So, yeah, I'll leave this one as is for the moment. In fact, I'll just take this one out, put that one in. That's a little bit less for it to worry about. Yeah, the bit of nitrogen that ends up in my suit I can vent when I go into the back into the greenhouse. Right. So this is going to need some power, and for that we need cable. Where did I put my cable? Oh. There. One of the disadvantages of having a widescreen or an ultra widescreen monitor is there are occasions when you really have to turn your head to see everything. Okay, so now I do need one of the batteries for this. There we go. Right, so this pressure we'll set at 17.5. It'll take quite a while to put that pressure in there. But yeah, that's fine. Turn that off. Of course, I don't have an oxygen filler at the moment because I've short-circuited it in order to run the filter out, or to filter the stuff out. I'd still like to get it a little bit more perfect. Right, now we need to do the same with this pressure regulator. I'm wondering whether I should turn it around. Nah, that's okay. It has a smart tank in it. Good. You have to make absolutely certain. I think the upper limit for those smart canisters is 20, but I get nervous. It basically makes me feel like I'm carrying around a bomb on my back. And what I might do is I might keep this one as another spare. So I do have that with tiny amount. I can always use it in the welder. Right. Speaking of the welder, let's check that. So I've still got 3,000 and I haven't actually filled this up. But there again, have not been doing an awful lot of welding. Let's check on. Okay, that is kind of unexpected. No burst. Oh, I'd obviously used it all up. That surprises me. I thought I still had a bunch. no matter. Give it some nice pink ice to nom nom on. Yeah, if I was the kind of person who was able to do mods, I would definitely do one for these ice crushers and give it a chewing sound. And then when it finishes, a little belch. But that's just me. I'm kind of sick in that way. We'll give it... oh, actually, no. I don't want to throw any more ice into this until I make absolutely certain that I'm not going to be pooching the supply. Yeah, because with this valve here not being a one-way, if I crush any more oxide, it goes into the grey pipe and can and will filter around into the blue pipe. Obviously, if I throw the valve, then it couldn't, but then I stop processing the nitrogen out of this side of the supply. So, yeah, my search for perfection is screwing me up. Now, why is that jumping up? Because I didn't actually add anything to it. Where has that come from? That is very peculiar. Oh, it's because I turned it on. Damn it. Yeah. The ice crusher has its own internal volume. And when you turn it off, it basically shuts it off. It won't export anything. I don't know if there's a pressure relief thing in there as well. But, yeah, the only way I believe of dealing with that is to dismantle it and rebuild it. So I will do that. I think it's grinder. No, wire cutters. All right, then the angle grinder. Then hand drill. Right, so when I rebuild it, it should not have any issues. What happened to my iron sheet? Or iron sheet? Oh. That's good. Okay. Now, in theory, there should not be any... Yeah, there's no volume in that. If I turn it on, I don't know whether anything backfills into it, but I'm not going to take the chance, leave it turned off, and wait until we get the nitrogen out of there.
Power low.
Okay. Why is that not running? Neither is that. Oh, it's because this has drained everything. I'll let that run completely dry. Right, we have a few too many things turned on. And this poor little thing just can't keep up with it. Now, yeah, it's just going to continue cycling on and on until we deal with it. What else do I have turned on that doesn't need to be? The combustor's off. Right, the water filter I can turn off for a bit. Right, so, and there's very little in here that I can afford to lose. Oh, that power bench, that's a little bit. Okay, so that is done. Oh. That's better than we had before, so just let that rip. Right. That's an empty one, but I'm not going to throw anything away just yet. Right, that one can live there. It'd be nice if we had storage racks specifically for canisters. I mean, you could just assemble multiples of these, but wouldn't be very compact. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was the main culprit for chewing up power. That's like 100 watts or 200 watts or something silly. Okay, so well, that'll get my jetpack thing sorted, but I don't really need the jetpack at the moment. Really, at the moment, I just want to purify the oxygen supply. There's probably better ways of doing it, actually, thinking about it. Yeah, I could have just temporarily connected the section that would have been like this blue baguette filling station. In fact, maybe I should do that. Do a little bit more funky piping. Let's see, what do I need? I'll need another valve, and I'll need some pipe. Well, pipe I have. Regulator's not going to be much help. How would I do this? How much are we got in there? Half a mole. And I still wouldn't be able to fill it up until I got the rest of the output section done. Oh, I'm just going to live with it. I know. I said I was going to do it, and then I didn't do it. Okay. Plants seem to be doing okay. Grow light's coming on when it should. Should go in and turn off that bench, though. Temperature-wise...
Hydration critical.
Oh, okay, I could do with a drink. Yeah, see, it is getting cooler. Let's see how the bottle in the fridge thing did. Absolutely no change. I think it was 87.5 when it went in there. So, that is not a thing. It's probably good that it isn't, because it could create all manner of issues, I'm sure. When you leave something in there and it freezes to a point where it bursts, explodes, or in some way detonates. So the room is cooling down, and yeah, so it may be that I'll never actually need the cooling system. I may have to think seriously in terms of warming things up. Now, the temperature in here in the pipes is 20.9. It's basically the same in the room. I'm wondering whether I ought to replace these sections of pipe with insulated. But I'm wondering if they are adding a permanent cooling effect to the room that I don't really want. I mean, according to this, the fridge isn't convecting or radiating anything. Neither is this pipe. That's the only thing I can think of. And it's entirely possible that these pipes are also adding a cooling effect. Well, now it's 21.1, but that could be because I emptied my waste tank, and that would be warmer gas. I don't think the game's thermal stuff is sophisticated enough to register body temperature and how that increases temperature in a room. Maybe it does. Who knows? Well, all right, I should just have to keep an eye on it, because the last thing I'm going to need is for these plants to have an issue. I mean, I'm already running this. Maybe I should put some monitor on it. So, yeah. I mean, I could run LEDs, but they cost power, or I could turn lights on. That might be an issue. Just turn a light on when it detects that the temperature is outside of the acceptable range, and then I can come in and manually deal with it. That might be the best way. And that way I'm only paying for the power that I use when the light is turned on. Right, well, this I'm going to empty as well, because I think this is probably... Actually, no, that's cooler. Oh well. I'll empty it anyway. Yeah, but this is definitely too hot to add to the plants. I mean, they don't need the water just yet, so I'll take my time getting it cleared up. I'll grab that liquid pipe because might need that. Close and lock the helmet. Right, so as far as the water heater goes, yeah, things are a little cluttered around here now. I mean, I can still get there. Okay, let's remove that. Add another pipe section. Yeah, they will face it to the back. Makes more sense. Now I don't think I have any more water radiators. but I can pinch that one. Okay, and put that in there. Well, temperature is coming down, but not very fast. There's only 4 litres of water in there, so I wouldn't have thought it would take that long to cool. Let's just pump in a little more. Now that's pumping in some cooler water. Now we'll get it back up to the 7 litre mark. That'll do. All right, we'll just leave it in there for a day or so, and that should cool it down. Could always accelerate it by adding more pipes and more radiators, or might be faster to pump the water out of that, just store it all in a pipe network, cool down the pipe network, and then pump it back out. Yeah, we're doing here. That seems to have stopped. Why is that not increasing in pressure? Oh, geez. I'm looking at this thinking it's got like 24.5 megapascals, and of course it's basically been drained. Okay, well that's fine. Based on current usage, I mean, we're at day, I think it says day 39. Difficult to read with the white lettering on the white background of the suit. But yeah, we're still on the original supply of jetpack nitrogen, so what's in here will last a long, long time. Okay, so won't need that for ages. Right, so I'm going to need to make some more alloys. I'm going to need to make the Stirling engine, and importantly, I will have to stop dithering and futzing around and figure out how I'm going to redesign this base. The greenhouse is basically in the wrong place, but it's too problematic to move it. So the machines can easily be moved. The battery is just where I slapped it down when I needed it, not really a good place. So the machines need to be relocated, the battery needs to be relocated. This ice crusher should probably just be dismantled and got rid of, and we need to decide where the Stirling rooms are going to go, where the battery or batteries, because I may end up with multiples, are going to live, and a few other things. And of course this little greenhouse thing that we have, in fact it looks like I have some food that's, if not, actually no, I don't think there's potatoes in there. No, not yet. But yeah, they're about to fruit. Give me some more spuds, and yeah, lots of decisions to make. And that's a bit of the game I'm terrible at least while I'm playing or while I'm recording. Anyway, thanks for watching so far. Sorry it's been a bit of a futzing around episode, but that's kind of how my whole day has been going. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you have any questions or comments, observations, even good dad jokes, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Catch you in the next one. 54 Bear out.